All right, let's get into it. Today, we're taking a look under the hood of a true global giant. We're going to decode the 2024 annual report from Yamaha Motor, and I promise you, what we're about to find goes way, way beyond a motorcycle you see here. We're going to see what really makes this company run. So let me ask you something right off the bat. When you hear that name, Yamaha Motor, what's the first image that pops into your head?
For most of us, yeah, it's probably a motorcycle. Sleek, fast, a symbol of freedom and incredible engineering. And you know what? You're not wrong. But that's just scratching the surface. It's not even close to the whole story.
So let's pull back the curtain a little because honestly, Yamaha's world is way more diverse than you'd probably imagine.
For starters, I want you to picture the thrill of being out on the open water.
Yamaha is a massive player in the marine world.
I'm talking everything from those powerful outboard motors you see on the back of countless boats to building the entire boat itself.
And then let's jump from the ocean right onto the factory floor. Because Yamaha is also deep into industrial automation. They build these incredibly advanced robots that are essential for manufacturing the electronics that run our modern lives. And on a much more personal level, they're creating things like these electric wheelchairs, which are all about enhancing freedom and independence. So you've got the racetrack, the factory, personal mobility. I mean, how does a single company even juggle all that? Well, the way they do it is by thinking of their business not as one single thing, but as 4 separate worlds. They organize all of this incredible variety into 4 main business segments. So let's do what we always do. Let's follow the money and see which of these worlds is really driving the company. Okay, so even with all that crazy variety we just saw, the money tells a really clear story. Land mobility, which, yes, includes those famous motorcycles, is the absolute giant here, pulling in 2/3 of all the revenue. 2/3. After that, marine products are the only other really big player. Everything else, the robotics, the financial services, they're still a pretty small slice of the overall pie. This right here, this is the map that shows you what really matters to their bottom line.
You know, every annual report kind of tells a story, and Yamaha's for 2024, it's got this really interesting plot twist. It's a classic business puzzle. And here is that puzzle. On one hand, their revenue went up by almost 7%. They sold more stuff, right? But on the other hand, the profit, the money they actually get to keep, totally tanked. It fell by over 25%. So what in the world happened between making all those sales and actually counting the cash?
First off, let's just get a sense of the scale here. We're talking about almost 2.6 trillion yen in revenue. That is a huge number, and it was driven by really strong motorcycle sales in places like Brazil and India. But all that cash coming in just didn't stick around. The operating profit landed at 181.5 billion yen. So where did all the money go? Where was the pressure coming from? And the answer is hiding right here, deep inside their biggest business, land mobility. Their main motorcycle business was doing just fine. It was still profitable, but it got dragged way down by big losses in their RV and their smart power vehicle divisions. You add those losses to some rising company-wide costs, and it pretty much explains the entire drop in profit for the whole company. All right, so after a pretty tough year, how is Yamaha planning to steer into the future? Well, it all boils down to a really clear, focused strategy.
Their playbook is basically a 3-step process. Step 1, protect the cash cows. They're going to double down on their core motorcycle and marine businesses. Step 2, bet on the future. They're going to pour resources into growing areas like robotics and SVVs. Yep, the same areas that just lost money. And step 3, keep tinkering. Keep developing completely new ventures. It's that classic core, grow, and explore model.
And this right here, this is the why behind everything they do. Their big, long-term vision is art for human possibilities. That Japanese phrase you see, it translates to people can be happier. It's so simple but really powerful. This isn't just some corporate slogan. It's the philosophical glue that holds all these different products together. But you know, in this day and age, a company's performance isn't just about the bottom line. It's also about how they treat people and the planet. And when it comes to the planet, they are not messing around. Their goals are super ambitious. They're aiming to be carbon neutral in their own factories by 2035, and they want their entire supply chain to get there by 2050. These are not just small promises. This is a huge deal representing a fundamental change in how they work. Now, when it comes to their people, this number might just be the most surprising thing in the whole report, 84.2%. In Japan, where it's not exactly the norm, that is the percentage of male employees at Yamaha Motor in Japan who actually took parental leave. That one number tells you more about their company culture than any mission statement ever could. But look, no company this big operates in a bubble. The future is full of challenges, and Yamaha is looking at the road ahead with its eyes wide open.
They're really watching out for three big things. First, the competition is just brutal. It's a constant fight. Second, since something like 90% of their sales are overseas, wild swings in currency can just wipe out their profits. And third, the thing that keeps everyone up at night, supply chain problems that can just grind everything to a halt.
So that really brings us to the big final question for Yamaha, right? We've seen their incredible range, but we've also seen that innovation can be expensive. In this crazy, turbulent world, can they really keep all these different engines running to deliver that special feeling they call kondo, that deep sense of excitement and satisfaction? Or are the pressures of the market going to force them to pick between that grand vision and the core business that actually pays the bills? That's the real challenge at the heart of their story.